President Trump's niece, Mary Trump, she's been promoting this new book that survived a couple of legal battles from the president before it was released. And her revelations to MSNBC's Rachel Maddow, they kind of stood out to everyone. Let's see what she had to say.
I have to press you on it a little bit. Just to ask if the president, if your uncle was an exception to that in your family, or if you ever heard him express either use anti-Semitic slurs or the N-word or other racist slurs or other sentiments like that.
Oh yeah, of course I did. And I don't think that should surprise anybody, given how virulently racist he is today.
Have you heard the president use the N-word?
Yeah.
And anti-Semitic slurs specifically?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, first of all, there's a few things, sorry. I need Rachel Maddow to get to the point. Just ask the question. Please, just ask the question. I love you, Rachel. Just ask the question. I even cut off the second half of the question that she asked at first when she goes, I'm wondering if this is like the rest of the family or if he has said it. Meaning, is he said it or is he like the rest of the family? No, we already asked the question. It's okay. Let her answer, please. Because at one point, Mary Trump said she was about to speak like, oh, we're going to ask it again. Okay, that's just an aside. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a waste of a bit of my life that I wish I had back. But, so now, maybe this is gonna cause a few people to raise their eyebrows. Be like, oh my God, wait. The president's niece point out that he might use anti-Semitic words. He might say the N-word. Oh my goodness. This is a game changer. Why is this a game changer? He said in front of cameras, every time he calls someone a thug, he's saying the N-word. Every time he talks about Mexicans are rapists and murderers and killers, that's a normal thing to say? That's the first thing. That was the launch of his candidacy. Let's never forget that. So the first thing he said was, he went down the escalator and said, hi, I'm Donald Trump, as you all know. Here's my wife, I'm a racist. I'm launching my candidacy. That's all he said.
Yeah, so the establishment is goofy. They don't do nuance and they can't understand simple things. So they get attached to magic words. So look, you shouldn't say the N-word because it's offensive. But if you think if a person has not said the N-word in their life, that must mean that they are not racist. You missed the whole point, right? And by the way, some people in other contexts could say the N-word and not be racist. It depends. Are they black? Are they white? Is it in a song? Is it in a news story? Can we talk about context? No. Oh, finally we caught Trump. What are you talking about? First there's the stuff JR is talking about. He comes and calls Mexicans rapists and criminals. I'm already done. I don't need to hear anything else. Then he says we have to ban every Muslim until we figure out what the hell is going on. I figured out what the hell is going on. Okay, all right, fine. Get beyond Mexicans and Muslims because they don't count as much in this country. It's absurd. Don't get beyond them, but that's how it's treated, right? Okay, now on Jews, he was in the Republican Jewish group, and he said nobody likes to renegotiate more than people in this room. It's like the most anti-Semitic trope there is. Like these guys, come on, what are we? Oh, but he said a word. It's not about magic words. Everything that Trump is like, he said like 1,000 anti-Semitic things. So over the top. How about when the guys chanted the Jews will not replace us? And he said there was very fine people on that side. I don't need a magic word to know he's an anti-Semite. And on black people, really, we're having a conversation. And I remember they're like, oh, it might turn out that some of the producers at Apprentice have tape of him saying the N-word. I mean, who cares? We already know. The guy just said that Black Lives Matter was what he didn't call it hate speech. He said that it was hateful, right? Something along those lines. And he said even the words Black Lives Matter was ruining a posh street like Fifth Avenue. I mean, I got literally 24 more examples I can give you right now off the top of my head. Like he's defending the Confederate statues, the Confederate flag, the Confederacy as we speak. Oh, breaking news, he said the magic word. Of course word. Remember, he started his business career working with his dad in real estate in Queens, where the federal government said, you guys are discriminating against black people on purpose. They said, yeah, you're right. You caught us. There's such overwhelming evidence. We'll admit it and pay a fine. Okay, he started his career with racism. So this late concern about him saying the N-word, come on.
It's who he is. It's who he's always been, and that's why I've always been wondering. I said, this guy isn't new. Half the reason why he got elected is everyone knows who he is. We've known who he is his whole life. So why is this now we're trying to figure this out? And the training for racists is make sure you don't say the N-word out loud, because then we can continue to say you're not a racist because we haven't heard you say the N-word. I would actually like to see the social experiment if he does say it outwardly and in front of everyone, and specifically focuses in on one black guy and calls him the word. I guarantee you, of his base, that 100% of his base, whoever's left, 70% will find a reason that it's a good thing he said. Be like, well, they shouldn't have been acting like N-words, else he wouldn't have said it. I mean, that's the only time, I'm sure it's the first time he said it, but he's so angry because of how bad things are. Guarantee they would go that route. Locker room talk, maybe, I don't know what they'd go with, but it really doesn't matter because they're gonna come up with something to make sure they continue this, because they know how he is. I have tons of examples of his racism, and I'm not even gonna go into it. You brought up the housing. He had his casino policies. He said black folks just their makeup makes them lazy. You know, he said, yeah, that black employee guy, he's lazy, but he can't help it. He's black, right? These were things that he said. Central Park 5, to this day, to his presidency, they asked him again. Like, it's obvious who the actual culprit was. It doesn't matter. They still pleaded guilty as teenagers when they were forced. To this day, that's what he believes. I don't think we need any other proof. I don't care if he ever says the N-word. He said it plenty of other times to us without saying it.
I was on C-SPAN, now it might have been 2 years ago, and some caller called in and said, you know, I can't believe you're calling the president racist. So are you saying that because I support him that I'm racist? And I was like, yeah, I am saying. I said, look, if you don't know about the Central Park 5 and you didn't know about all those things, that's one thing. But I just told you about it. And if you still think that it's not racist, so what? He thought 5 black guys, black and Latino guys who didn't do it should have been executed anyway, because he said, why were they in Central Park? They were up to no good. If you don't think that's racist, then yes, you're a racist. Yes, you are. So I know in a sense it's the least surprising story, but and Jared's 100% right. A lot of times people use it just as an excuse, and a lot of our knucklehead media go along with it. So, like, I bet if Eminem said the N-word in a song and Trump never said the N-word, half the reporters in the country would say Eminem's racist and Trump isn't. Context, guys, context. Use your head for a second. I never want to discuss whether Trump is racist again. It's the most obvious thing in the world. And last thing, more beyond Trump, when they say that black folks are lazy, nothing makes me angrier, man. How about the slave owners who didn't want to do their own work? And got other people to do their work for them, and then had the temerity to call them lazy.
Not only that, Jay, they didn't do their own work, and they also didn't want to pay anyone to do the work. Sounds like the other trope that they'd like to throw at Jewish folks in this world. They're cheap, and then also black folks are lazy. Yet these slave owners wouldn't pay for labor and wouldn't do it themselves.
Those white slave owners in the South were the laziest, most violent savages this country has ever known.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.